Good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Shaminaz from the digital platform of GPLT. So we are again here to discuss peace issue, and the most important is the current issue of Gaza. How people in Gaza are suffering. So we as a peace lover are very much concerned about. So we have invited a writer from Gaza, sorry, from Palestine, Hanan Awad. Awad, and we have another speaker today, Fabio Carbone. So Hanan is a writer from Palestine. She is she has been working for Hanan is an ambassador of National Day of Living Together in Peace, United Nations. She is the president of Palestine Center of the International Poetry Movement and the permanent member of the International Coordination Committee. She is the president of Palestine Center of International Pen and president of International Department of Grain Union of Palestinian Writer. She is a cultural um, advisor of she was cultural advisor of His Excellency Yasir Arafat. So she had the privilege of meeting Yasir Arafat many times, which we didn't had. And she is the member of Palestine National Council. She is the cultural advisor of the government of Jerusalem. And barring things, she has lots of accolades. So welcome, Hanan, to once again to the digital platform of GPLT. And now we have another speaker, Fabio Carbone. He is a humanitarian activist and academic with extensive international experience in education, in emergencies, and cultural diplomacy. He's the founder and operational head of Academics for Gaza, an initiative that provides remote educational and psychological support to higher education student community in Gaza. He has worked in a range of humanitarian contexts, including in Afghanistan, Iran, Bangladesh, Ecuador, among other, where he supported intervention of education in emergency. Beside this, he is also working a lot of, like he has served as European volunteer or European Union. So welcome, Fabio. Since we have paucity of time, so we are confining with your introduction with this also, and even with Hanan. So welcome. Today we will be discussing about the current situation is in Gaza. We all know that the current situation in Gaza is very terrible, very devastating. But we did not see much contribution by international community, whether it is United Nations or Amnesty International. So to discuss various other issue, we have organized this event. So thanks all the member. And first, before starting the event, I request Tariq sir to please start the conversation.
Thank you, Dr. Shaminaz. Dear Hanan, what would you like to share? I mean, there are lots of things, I'm sure, but how should we start?
Yeah, this is the problem.
Excuse me, just one thing I want to say.
Okay.
Yesterday, I saw a good piece of news in Tel Aviv. Some young Israeli Jewish young people who were invited to the army, they burned the invitation or order documents. They said, we refuse to join the genocide in Gaza. We protest the government of Netanyahu. That is something significant, I think. Yes, please go ahead.
Well, hello everybody. I'm so happy to be with you. It's honor for me. And when we speak about Gaza or Palestine, we don't know how to start and what to say in such a critical situation, unusual genocide that attacks our people in Gaza, not only in Gaza, even in the West Bank. The story is not the War of October 7. The story starts 1948 when we lost the paradise of Palestine. And the occupation continued. They took part of Palestine, and in 67, the other part was occupied. And since then, we are under oppression, under violation, different kind of violation, loss of life, loss of houses, loss of identities, deportation, all what you can imagine. This is something. After the 7th of October, there was, I cannot describe it in one word. So I tried, as a writer, to describe what's going on. I never thought in my life, despite the fact I read all the episodes from the old time and all the stories, I never imagined that such actions can happen in this modern time and in our country. I'm sure you are aware of what's going on. Killing every day, at least 100 martyrs we have every day. Children, including children and women. We have around 19,000 children were killed. Around 232 writers and journalists were killed. 150 professors and academics were killed. Most of the houses in Gaza destructed. And there is no food. And this is the unusual of humanity. How can a people live in Gaza? They don't take food, and all the borders are blocked, and nobody help. They try to help in a very semi way, which is not covered. I'm sure you saw the images of the TVs when they show the children trying to have a plate to take something, but it was impossible. The thing is, it's not only the occupation crime. It is the crime of any power in the world that supported the occupation and supporting the killing and give arms to Israel to kill the Palestinians. You know, and when we signed the Oslo Agreement, when Arafat signed it with Rabin, there was supposed to be a state of Palestine to be declared in 1999. But the time passes, and instead of declaring the state, there are different kind of violation, cutting the West Bank, killing more people, attacking more houses and things. So the state was false in the Oslo Agreement because it was supposed to be implemented. And who witnessed the Oslo Agreement? The United States, and nothing now on the ground. The sad thing is, every day you have a statement. Every day people talk. Every day there are interviews in the TV, just analyzing. While we are speaking now, you will find 50 people are killed, or many children from hunger died. So there is a silence of the world. Despite the fact there was lots of support, South Africa, Spain, and many other countries, and they declared the state of Palestine, agreed to get. But the problem is the people are still dying. No ceasefire, and everybody is calling for ceasefire. The President Trump, he sent many times his prime minister to check, and unfortunately, he hold the idea of the occupation, and he sees what's going on. He see the death, he see the blood, the rivers of blood going on, that nothing has done. They said they will support the declaration of the state of Palestine that was on Thursday, and many countries will recognize. But at the same time, standing, you can imagine all these leaders standing in the United Nations and didn't stop the war, didn't save the people who are dying. It is unusual. Despite the fact that the good intention that you want to declare the state of Palestine. But how can you declare the state before you stop the genocide, before you stop the killing? So this is the question now. And everybody speaks in all over the world. There are many stances that we are very proud of in different parts of the world. We are very thankful to the free people who stand firm with Palestine. We demonstrate all together in different parts of the world. Some presidents, they have distinguished stances, but still the blood is rivers going on Gaza. The hunger is continuing. The death, the hospitals, everything in Gaza is unusual. What we can do? Maybe we scream, okay? We demonstrate, we write a statement, but still the blood is shed in Gaza. Until this moment, every day they said, next week we will have agreement and the war will be stopped. Then the week passed. The coming week come after, then Trump declared, oh, very soon we will stop the war. And the people still dying and dying and dying. This is the very difficult situation that we are living in Gaza. In the West Bank, the same. They attack the refugee camps, they attack the houses in the north, and maybe many people were deported, and nobody stopped them. Nobody, no resolution in the United Nations or the Security Council can be implemented here to stop the genocide, to stop the killing, to stop the terror against our people. This is our situation in summary. Thank you.
I want to ask one question just now. Hanan and Fabio, you both can answer one by one. Recently, we have seen the clash or conflict between Iran and Israel. Does it has any effect on Palestinian war? Has it beneficial for Palestine? Hanan, please, you answer first.
No, the Iranian-Israeli war, it was the story that was created by Netanyahu since long ago. He said the enemy is Iran. Iran is supporting the Palestinian. Iran is doing this and that. Palestinians are struggler by nature. When you are under occupation, you will fight. You cannot stay silent. Otherwise, you say, this is not my land. So the Palestinians, since their history, they are struggling. If Iran or any other country helps, okay, thanks to them. But the thing is in the hand of the Palestinian, their decision, their dream of freedom, and they aim to have, as any other nation in the world, an independent state of Palestine to live as any people in the world. So whatever comes, who have ever helped or not, but we never have like what Trump and other presidents of the state, the United States, they give millions of dollars of arms to the occupation. And to what the occupation uses this arm, of course, they use it in Gaza and the West Bank in a plan. It is a plan that, like Smotrich and Ben Gvir and all these left government, they don't want to see any Palestinian. And the surprise was for me, since the war, most of the people who spoke, even academic writers and women, they said, well, we don't want to see any Palestinian. They have to be deported and they have to be killed. Can you imagine? I am in my country and people want to kill me and take me out. So this is the reality that we are facing in every part of Palestine. Thanks.
I would like to say something here,
Yeah.
with your permission.
Tfadal.
When we talk about racism, it is important to note that there is also Jewish racism. And I have many Jewish friends, and I have written a play about Anna Frank, and I have acted as Anna Frank's father, Otto Frank. And so I can speak, and many of my Jewish friends, including those who live in Israel, agree with me. And it is, unfortunately, we see a direct mirror image of Hitler in the mentality of some racist Jews. This is a fact. I'm saying this, and this is not anti-Semitism. This is a truth. And I have attended 3 international events, two in Tel Aviv, one in Jerusalem. And I want to say that I asked my friends in Israel, what are the borders of Israel? There are no official borders. And some people do not know that the strictest Zionist project, the Great Israel, includes some part of southeastern Turkey as well. So that attack is based on mythology. There is the mythology. Mythology is fun when we want to learn about cultures, etc. But it becomes dangerous if people really believe in those mythologies. Unfortunately, there is this clash of mythologies in many parts of the world. So I want to underline or emphasize the fact that there is a racist government in Israel, and it's not only Taliban, it's not only Afghanistan or Iran that tries to rule by Sharia. It's also the Netanyahu government. They are trying to apply their Sharia, their religious law, which is against human rights, against human rights. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes, it is racism, unusual racism, different from any racism in the world. You see, the problem is Netanyahu and the government, not only they want to invade Gaza or other parts of Palestine, but they try to enter other Arab countries in their dream that they will make the state the great state of the occupation. So they are not stopping on Gaza or in the West Bank. They went to Syria, the south of Lebanon, and they will expand, you know. The thing is, Netanyahu does not listen to anybody. Why he doesn't listen? Because Trump is supporting him before the other presidents support him, and they have all the support, financial support and military support. They don't care. They never adhere to any human rights laws. They don't. They didn't adhere to the international law. They don't listen. Even if you see them in the United Nations, the speaker who represents the occupation, he speaks. يعني you can, from his speech you understand that peace is impossible with such mentality like Smotrich and Ben Gvir, who intend to kill the people, imprison them. If you see the situation of the prisoners of Palestine, Ben Gvir and Smotrich said, don't give them food and try to kill them as much as you can. And they beat them every day. The situation of the prisoners are unusual and very, very, very difficult. All these acts, how can we describe? And what we can do together as people who believe in justice, believe in human dignity. What can we do? Because the big powers do not allow anybody to do except to believe that justice one day will be flourished. The arm and the ambition of the United States to take Gaza and make it Rivera, and as if there is no people there. There is no people living, and this is as if the land is not for Palestinians. It's just for business and making future plans according to the U.S. and to the occupation. So this is the situation, and we wait for how to say, we keep the hope alive, because we do believe that the people who have right will never bend down. And the Palestinians, since their cause appeared, they are struggling in all means, in literature, in peace, in demonstration, in any mean that can, in diplomacy also, that can achieve their goal of freedom, justice, and Palestine state. And believe me, we do believe Palestine is Palestine. It cannot be divided. But when we sign Oslo, we go through the possible justice. We accept part of Palestine, despite the fact Palestine, the historic Palestine, cannot be divided. And we accept to have the state of Palestine on the borders of 1967, but the occupation will not give anything to the Palestinians unless the US give their orders, unless the Security Council implement the resolution. Imagine how many resolutions we have in the United Nations, and no resolution was implemented. In that sense, if the United Nations worked hard and the Security Council without the vote of the US, and as they did in other areas, when the occupation exceeds the limit, they have to be punished. They have to. He has to be stopped by power, not only by statement and by a demonstration, whatever it is. If you listen to Guterres, his word was very clear, and he warned all the state of the world. What's going on? I cannot describe, he said. The children are dying. Where are you, the leaders of the world? And we together, we have to ask, where are the leaders of the world? Why they are silent until now?
Tariq sir, I want to ask some question from Fabio now. Fabio, you are a humanitarian activist. What role are the international human rights organization are doing in respect of Gaza famine? We are seeing lots of people, children dying every day. People are short of food. Even the aids which are being airdrop or is not sufficient for the people of Gaza. So, what role are these international human rights organization doing in respect of this?
Thank you very much, and hello again. It's really an honor to meet again Tariq and Nikki and you, Dr. Shaminaz, and staying here with Hanan. Really a pleasure. What we do, it's simply this. We are the last people who try to make some sense of humanitarian law, of human rights. Me personally, I work with education simply because I'm not a doctor. If I was a doctor, I would be in Gaza helping. I'm an academic, so what I do, I do what I can. I'm digital on the ground with this organization that I create, Academics for Gaza, with more than 300 volunteers supporting students in Gaza that under the bombs managed to finish their studies, etc. This look like nothing, but it is actually just a drop in the ocean. But the right to the study, this part of the human rights. There is an SDG, Sustainable Development Goals 4, that is about this. So this is what we do. Why I'm saying that we are the last people that on which people in Palestinians in Gaza can rely on, because they cannot rely on anyone else. Who's going to defend the human rights? The UN, US, the UK, Italy. I'm Italian. I'm ashamed of being Italian. It's so something that the ICC already defined that that Netanyahu and the rest of the gang should be arrested, but Netanyahu continued to travel without being arrested.
Right.
Now, Anan was asking, so just to conclude, like what we do, we are the last people who can talk about human rights and defending human rights because the rest of the world, particularly because here is a bit complex the situation, and we could talk a lot about also Arabs, why Arabs abandoned completely Palestinian. This is another story. I'm Western, so I talk about West. Okay,
Yeah,
so all
yeah.
the West abandoned completely these guys. Well, the thing is, and we are talking about one of our students, Amira. We are publishing a book because Amira,
Mhm.
one night during a bombing with drones,
Mm.
she sent me a message because this is what we do. We basically work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day with the young people in Gaza. Certain point, she
Mm.
sent me a message in the middle of the night and say, "Look, there is one more bombing here, and I
Mm.
want to send you my message, my diary, because I don't know if I'm going to arrive at the next day, but I want people to know. So please promise me that you are going to publish this." And I have this treasure, and I believe me, this is the correspondent. Tariq, you were talking about Anna Frank. This is the correspondent of Anna Frank work. And I'm working to publish this. I have to tell you something. Me personally, I'm paying a lot for what I'm doing and many other people are doing. I was already victim of a hate crime by a Zionist group in the UK, and the police is investigating this, me and my family. I lost job opportunities in the UK and promotions because of my exposition on the side of Gaza. We also have to say this. And
Yeah.
this goes in there. So I'm paying the price to do this. And this goes close my answer to your question and start to answer a bit what Anan was saying. Anan knows very well the answer to the question why no one is doing nothing. Well, Eisenhower in 1961, in his last address to the nation as a president of the United States, he said, "Be careful to what is a new influence on the politics, which is the military industrial complex."
Mm.
Eisenhower said this in the 1961. Okay,
Uh-huh.
um, so basically now more than 50, 60 years passed since then, and this military complex we are talking about, who really rule the world, companies like the Lockheed Martin, just to understand those who produce the F-35, the jets, etc. These people are really ruling the world.
Exactly.
Trump cannot do anything, okay, despite the promise, etc., exactly because he's not ruling anything. Okay, so why uh, I lose job opportunity? Because who is funding think tank, research groups, etc., are the Zionists with these companies. This
Yeah.
is why no artist in general, then there are exceptions, but in general, this is why no artist, no academics, no, they raise their voice. We are all scared. They are all scared. They are all scared because they know very well that
Yeah.
we arrive at the level that we really cannot talk. We are not free anymore. And I think that something that died, talking about human rights, something that died in Gaza, and I hear, as I said, directly from Gaza, stories of the students every single day. Amira, this girl that sent me the message with her diary, she has two brothers and the father. The father was killed, and then two brothers looking for food. They were
Mhm.
killed by the terrorists of the IDF. And not only killed, two kids, 15 and 17 years old, but the IDF, this terrorist, it's not an army, it's a group of terrorists, they don't let anyone to go and recover the bodies of these two kids. So Amira, with the mother, go and take the kids after they were eaten by dogs. Okay, so this is the situation in Gaza. No one saying anything. So just because more weapons has to be sold, more. And who is ruling? Because the Zionists are quite inside this industrial military complex. No one is going to stop them. And what Tariq was talking about, the project of the Great Israel, south of Lebanon, part of Daraa in Syria, etc. Why no one is stopped? Well, like we talk about Russia and Ukraine. Okay, Putin is a criminal because entering Ukraine. They are bombing. Talking about Gaza, they're bombing constantly Lebanon without any real reason, unless that is not invading Lebanon to create Israel, the Great Israel. They are bombing every day the south of Syria. That is trying to return to a normality. What are we talking about here? So, in the reality, the complicity comes from the fact that the money won, and this is so. One of the big victims in Gaza and West Bank, because the settlers are not less terrorists than. So ISIS are just beginners related to Israelis, but one of the victims, it is humanity when we talk about it. So
it's you. Yeah.
So so the thing is, what really happened is that we wake up very late, because this is not now. This is happening like from 60 years, etc. But okay, we wake up. We finally woke up, and we talk about this. Okay, but let's make an example. Starmer, this other criminal, this is the Prime Minister of UK. He promised that in September they're going to recognize the state of Palestine. So first of all, I live in the UK, and I know on my skin that it's always better not to trust a British person, particularly if he's in politics. Okay, but the question is, all of a sudden, the country who's one of the main responsible for what's happening decide to recognize Palestine, because there is no Palestine anymore. Probably in September there will be no Palestine. What Tariq was saying, there are no borders in Israel. Why? Because they enter in Palestine. My opinion about this, there is no Israel. My opinion about, not because Israel was created after the Second World War, also with the huge charge of morality against the Holocaust that the Jews had to suffer. This reason doesn't exist anymore. They have the demonstration that there is no morality there is the reason, in my opinion. I'm talking by myself, for myself. There is no reason to have a state of Israel. There should be a one state solution, which is Palestine, where Jews, Christians, and Muslims, they live together in peace. Because even if one day we actually are going to recognize Palestine, what is going to happen? That UK, US, Germany, Italy are going to continue to give weapons anyway to Israel, to continue to bomb Palestine. So what is the difference? Okay, so if we talk about peace, we cannot divide people. We should unite people. But this is obviously quite ideal, because in the end, unfortunately, as it happens for the Indians of America, the Native Americans, Palestinians, the destiny of Palestinians, from what I see every single day, is written, and is an unfortunate, because we enter in a post-human era at this point, where justice doesn't mean anything anymore, when human rights doesn't mean anything anymore, etc., etc.
At this point, may I say two things? One is, instead of saying world leaders, I think we are world leaders, truly. We are among the world leaders. The others are political gangsters. Let's mention the political gangsters or political rulers. not world leaders. That's an important. There are good people doing certain things, trying to do. These organizations are good. Their leaders are world leaders. I want to say that. So let's change. Let's not give them the honor of being called world leaders. They are simply political oppressors, political rulers only. And another thing is, I think Netanyahu is destroying Israel. I have been saying this because how can anybody hope peace after Gaza while this is going on? And it cannot go on. And there cannot be peace. I mean, uh, Israel is missing its chance to survive, actually, by over killing, uh, by this genocide, with this genocide. Uh, no more sympathy regarding, they have used. I agree with you, Fabio. Unfortunately, this is so terrible.
Mhm.
So terrible.
Okay, thank you. I would like to thank Mr. Fabio. Really, is a wonderful speech, very deep analysis, very high standard of knowledge. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry that you faced all these difficulties, but all the free people face such a thing. Thank you so much on behalf of the Palestinian people.
Yeah, I'd like to add something about Fabio because I really love this man with such a passion for the work that he's doing. and I could stand here and say, but it's just so unfair because what exactly has he done wrong? He stood up for human rights. It's as simple as that. But now it's spreading all over the world. So if you're standing for human rights, you're in big trouble if you're not supporting the war. So
Yeah.
you are in serious trouble, and they will find a way to find you where you are because I'm experiencing that now. And you risk being arrested and going to prison for your belief. So it's becoming extremely difficult to stand up for what's right. To stand up for human rights is not as easy as it used to be. It's now disappeared because we are being so controlled. I do not understand why one country, Israel, has all this power, this tremendous power, and this relationship with America that's added to that power, that's not only destroying Gaza, but it's destroying our world and our beliefs. Just a huge destruction. I'd like to read for you quickly. Hamad Khalifa is in Palestine, and he wrote this. Gaza has left no veil untouched on anyone's face. The war was not merely a military conflict. It was a profound and all-encompassing test in which humanity, in all its forms, was put to trial. Gaza was not only a battlefield of destruction, but a revealing mirror that exposed the flaws behind claimed values and stripped away many masks. From the individual to the family to society, then to political parties, entities, states, alliances, all were tested. And the question posed to each was the same. To what extent do we truly believe in the slogans we repeat about freedom, justice, dignity, and the right to life? In Gaza, grand claims collapsed. international organizations that were established to protect human beings from injustice and aggression appeared powerless, at times even complicit. Before the machinery of killing, starvation, and siege, nations that long preached about morality and human rights stood silent or hid behind weak justifications. As for political parties and movements, some revealed their hypocrisy, others their helplessness, and only a few remained firm in their ethical stance. Gaza was not just a war, it was a moment of truth, dividing the world into two camps, those who stand with humanity and those who turn a blind eye to its oppression, as long as the oppressor is an ally or powerful. And while the massacre in Gaza broke hearts, they also awakened awareness, stirred conscience, and reminded us all that just causes never die, no matter how hard they try to bury them. In this end, this war will be recorded not just as a chapter of violence, but as a resounding historical document. Gaza did not fall. What it did was expose the world. And that, my dear friends, is just the truth, because all of us are feeling it. Gaza, Fabia's talk just now is the evidence of exactly what is happening now. It's just so frightening. It's just scary. That really, for me personally, I don't know what we're going to do. I really don't know. That's why I'm so grateful for having speakers here today, because you have a voice and you're standing up for what is wrong. What's going to happen with all of this, really, I don't know. I was just looking at the news when they send people to go and check about food, if the food was going through. But those people were right there. Why didn't they go and visit the hospitals? Why didn't they go and speak to the parents of the children that are busy dying? They didn't do any of that. They just went to go and check. So now it's a good thing. All the message now is, why are we all shouting? Because there is food. So stop your noise. That's a message that I've got now from them. Nothing else. Stop complaining, there is food. What is happening to us? I don't know.
Yeah, thank you.
Excuse me, Dr. Shainul Banji wanted to say something, I think.
Thanks for the opportunity. Please allow me to switch off my camera due to low network. I fully support what Dr. Nikki said and what Fabio was saying, that we are at the moment who are supporting Gaza and Palestine. We are being intimidated and our voices are being sabotaged. In normal circumstances, whenever I see any Gaza hunger post or anything like that, I used to share in my Facebook. But I have noticed that they've started uh, controlling my Facebook account. They've started to reduce my post. They've started to cut off whatever I'm posting. I've not posted anything wrong. What I posted was something which was happening in Gaza, reported by the media or reported on issues such as Germany uh, uh, will be able to accept Palestine as a separate state or something like that, that is already in the media, but they're trying to restrict my account. And my other friend too is facing the same thing and is really shouting that he is just posting what is truth and his accounts are restricted. So at the moment, they are being very, very cautious. They tried to curtail the university voices back in America, and now even Facebook is being curtailed. They are regulating it with close angle. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you a lot. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Professor Shanul Bhanji, same, I have also experienced that if I post something about Palestine, it is not being circulated. I think means they are not allowing, though it is on my timeline, but many times I see that nobody notices it. So I think the Facebook is completely controlled by Zionist forces. They are not allowing to raise voice to Facebook.
Yeah. At
Yeah.
least you are a better statement. To me, they've restricted it totally. They've cut off the post. They sent me a warning notice that they will be curtailing everything. So from now on, too, I'm thinking twice before posting anything on Gaza or Palestine because they're really restricting it.
May I take a group photo with all our faces, please, for our archive?
Yeah.
Pardon?
Why not?
Yeah,
Why
because
not?
it is
It's
important.
okay. Yeah.
Nikki and Dr. Shainul, Tina Jones, Cevher Pirzada, Joseph Akinola, Nusret
Tell me,
Mustafa.
my camera is not working. My camera is not well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm Hanan, dear, will you please, your face is a little bit down. Will you please move the camera
Okay.
down a little? We can
Sorry.
see you better.
Something
thank
wrong.
you.
Something
Yeah,
wrong.
the
1 minute. Okay.
it's gone.
يلا دقيقة. دقيقة.
Yes, excuse me.
I don't know why it's very big.
No, this is good. This is good. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. And Fabio, with you, I would like to also talk, separately and improve our friendship. I will be happy to.
Sure. Tariq, I admire you and I'm at your disposal anytime. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, hello, Fabio.
Okay, I want to ask this question. We are seeing lots of airdropping of humanitarian aid by many countries, including UAE, Spain, France, and other countries. Do you think it is good or enough step for the hunger issue which has arisen in Gaza? Hanan, please, you reply, or Fabio, anybody?
I didn't got that question. Can you say it again?
Lots of countries are dropping food items, airdropping food items. So is that effort sufficient or enough effort for the people in Gaza?
Well, no, I don't think so. Whatever they try, sometimes they throw through the planes. They did not open the passes that can take the food inside. So they are trying to show the people that they are doing something, but no, it's not enough. Now there are lots of food waiting in the borders, and the occupation did not allow them to come in. If all these assistants come in, people will take. It's not, of course, it's not enough whatever they bring now because it's days of hunger. But until now, there is no opening of the borders. There is no serious work to bring the assistance and the food to the Palestinian in Gaza.
And according to
one more thing I want to relate with it. It is not only Israel which is not allowing the food trucks or other things to go into the borders of Gaza. It is also the Egyptian. Why Egypt is so hostile with the Palestinians?
Well, I must tell you, we will come. What my friend said, there is no big power and there is small power. The big power, we come back to it, it holds everything, and it supports the occupation, whatever it is. And they put pressure on Egypt too. So it is a solution in the hand of Trump. He wants it that way. Otherwise, the food comes, many countries they donate and give food to the Gaza people, but it's not allowed to enter. And they don't want the people to live alive with dignity. They want them to take out and depart their country. They want them to die because, you see the children every day dying, but they don't have any feeling towards that. So the assistance is not reaching as it should be, and according to the laws and the human rights law and the international law, nothing now. Until today, very few. And it's not enough for the everybody because there are lots of people in Gaza in urgent need to the food and to survive.
Yes, and there is one of the anti-propaganda items is that Hamas has been stopping it. That is a lie. That is anti-propaganda. That's a lie. And according to trustworthy circles, a very close friend who has been trying to help, he's less than half of what is necessary can be provided. Less than half
Exactly, yes.
for
Think
nourishment for and the children
Yeah.
have been suffering, especially.
Mhm.
And there is yeah.
And the resistance people, the leaders calling for assistance from all over the world, but nobody listens. They're trying to make some shows. Oh, we are helping the people in Gaza. What kind of help? The people are dying. The people are starving. And,
I
and
think
so, yeah.
no, sorry. Finish.
I want to ask one question from
Yeah.
Fabio.
No.
Uh,
If I can answer still this question, I think that it's in the reality is a false problem, in the sense that the real problem is why food cannot enter in Gaza. This is the real problem, because there is it's no dignifying the fact that they have to send from the airplane. Once again, as Tariq was saying, this is quite coward from the Western countries, because the thing is that at this point, when they have to do something because the situation is so bad, they say, the Italian government announced here a few days ago, we are going to send also food with the C-130, and we are going to send food on Gaza. Yeah, but you are sending weapons to Israel as well. What is the? I mean, it's not. This is the fact of asking is enough. Of course, it's not enough, but it does not even. This is not even the point. The point is why these people. This is a war crime. This is an act of genocide in itself, using starvation as a weapon of war. And as I said before, like these all the parameters and all the criteria and all the laws, they're just and it's going to be difficult after this to rule the world.
Fabio, I want to ask you one question. There has been twice or thrice Arab-Israel war. There has been twice or thrice a war between Arabs countries and Israel. But don't you think in the current time, Arabs have betrayed Palestinian, especially Egypt and Jordan?
This is a very tricky question, which
I wanted to ask you because Hanan
I'm
is
trying to be. I will try to be diplomatic for a simple reason. I know that because I travel a lot in the Middle East, and I know that Arabs are with the Arab people. Not what Tariq was saying. The difference between who is at the in the government and who and the people. I know that all Arabs, among the common people, are with Palestinians. But the problem is that Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and all these people, like, yeah, okay, the common people are with Palestinian, but the problem is, in the reality, who to take the decisions are those who are in the place to rule, and like the case of Egypt. Okay, so I'm sure 100% that Egyptian are on the side of Palestinians, but who is closing the border? The common people or who's now? So at this point, the wars in the past was a different time. Okay, if you see it, Israel in the reality was a military place for the Americans in the Middle East after the Second War, like exactly like Italy. But Italy already exists; they need to create a place there. Italy is a huge military basis for Americans after the second. There is no, when we talk about sovereignty in Italy, is very funny because there is no, this is not a sovereign nation. Who rule on Italy is United States since the Second World War end. The same thing was Israel. Israel is a place where the Americans have their weapons, and this is why most of the conflict with Arabs, between Israel and Arabs, were won by Israel because the weapons were already there. What happened now with Iran? That the IDF is good to kill kids. Okay, it's good to kill children. But when Iran starts to attack Israel, United States have to enter in the game to defend Israel. And Saudi Arabia, Jordan, they know this. Their governors, they know this. So they choose to stay on the side of the winner. That's it. Now, if Arabs abandon Palestinians, to recover what Tariq was saying, I think that common people, they don't, but they should be braver in showing this support. Okay, but let's not forget that it's I understand and I acknowledge that it's scary for them also to show their support. Now, the governors, the rulers of Arab countries, they definitely betray Palestinians, of course.
Yes, and I think at this point I want to say, well, good old Marx and Engels. I mean, if we do not look at class situation, who exploits who benefits from who, from what, we cannot understand the situation. There are exploitation is going on, and in almost all countries, to my knowledge, all countries, there is this exploitation one way or another. The regime may have this name or that name, but so it is today, to me, a global fascism versus global democratic forces. There are two nations in the world: those who want a humanistic, real human world, humanity, and then those racists, exploiters, etc., using whatever names they benefit from.
Thank you. If you allow me to add, please.
Please.
Well, I was just to remind you that Trump, when he started his governing, he called for Egypt president and Jordan president. The reason why he called them, because he will convince them to help him in deporting the Palestinians from Gaza. Egypt refused completely that. And the Jordan king, he went there, but the Egyptian president didn't go. And he said, I put the answer to the Egyptian. The Egyptian refused completely because how to deport the Palestinian from their home. This is the attempt. Still until now, Trump is trying to convince as many countries to accept the Palestinian if Israel deported them from Gaza. And this is very dangerous and this is unhuman, unusual, to take the people out of their countries and ask another country to take them and hold them. So it's unusual. I don't know what kind of president who think in that way. So it's really difficult, Jenny. To whom we want to talk? If the U.S., which is considered itself the most powerful of the world, think in that way, what kind of humanity? What
Yes.
kind of dignity for the people? How they look to the people and to the countries and the sovereignty. So all this to support Netanyahu and to support occupation, all what he is doing in his
Yes.
Zionist Christianity.
And maybe instead of addressing the governments of the world, of several countries, people like us, we should stop addressing the governments and we should speak to the people saying, all humans, all those
Yes,
who consider themselves human, are you
yes,
doing what you should be doing for peace everywhere?
that's true.
And
Yeah,
so directly addressing.
Tariq,
mhm,
scenario is not same in every country. Maybe, or it is really in Turkey, everybody is supporting Palestine. But now the case is different in India. India was a very big supporter of Palestine, but things have changed since uh, the right government, the right wing parties are rising in the country, and they are spreading so much of hatred for other community that now mostly Indians, they support Israel.
Oh, and as
You
for
must have
Turkey,
seen.
and I want to mention something about Turkey. You might think that Erdogan is against Israel, against Netanyahu. He speaks so now and then, but the economic connections are continuing with the Israeli government all the same. So
right.
it's simply for the votes of certain citizens of Turkey. It's
Right.
it's not a genuine
So,
concern.
Tariq, sir, here in India, only the left wing groups, whether it is student left wing group or political left wing parties, even some secular parties also, political party, or all the left organization are only supporting Palestine. There has
That's
been a different scenario. When I was in school, once one of my teacher has taught about where in when I was in class fourth or fifth, he told us about the situation in Palestine, and he supported the Palestinian cause. Now the same teacher is not supporting Palestine. So scenario is changed in India, and this is because the rise of the right wing parties, and that this is not only the case in India, but the right wing has arisen in political scenario in many countries. So things like I cannot raise so much of voices on social media or anything. Even once during the procession of Muharram, one of individual, he hoisted the flag of Palestine and he was put into the prison. So not in every country all the people are supporting. Only now it is mostly left with either with the Muslims or with the left people. And Indian Christian are supporting Israel as if they are supporting. It is supporting Israel is their religious duty.
Yeah.
So this is also. Mhm. So, Hanan, I want to ask one question from you that whenever the war in Gaza will end, what do you think? How many years it will take to rebuild rebuild Gaza?
Well, oh, I think it will take a long time. The first evaluation, they said around between 5 and 10 years. It depends upon the readiness of to cover all the expenses and the expert that they come to. But if you count the whole houses, homes, and cultural sites and other things, I think it needs long time to be rebuilt.
I
There
think,
is an
Hanan, just sir, one. Hanan, countries like Qatar, Malaysia, and Indonesia have supported in building many structure like hospitals, schools, and colleges in Gaza.
Yes, yes. You know, before the war, there was many hospitals from different countries of the world, many schools, many houses, but now all destructed. The airport is destructed before, and it needs lots of work and lots of money. And I think that the occupation should pay the money. Trump is trying to take the money from the Gulf area. Who did the massacre must pay the price. So this is what we should ask for too, because now Trump, the U.S., as he went to the Saudi Arabia and get all these trillions, he asked them to rebuild Gaza or anything affected inside Israel.
Yes, there's an important point. About 6 months before the 7th of October, I learned from a source, this is a question. Netanyahu promised British Petroleum the underground natural resources of Gaza, natural gas, etc., etc. And then somebody said, "We'll find a way to take that land." And so Netanyahu, his government, did not have the right to market what is under Gaza, under the Palestinian land. So that is an important point. I want this to be clarified. Is this true? This is probably true. I tend to trust that information.
Yes, dear. Yeah, it's true because Netanyahu, a few months before the 7th of October, he used to declare, we want to attack Gaza, we want to attack Gaza. And you know, the question of Gaza is very important. And this is one of their plans, why they are invading Gaza. They want to use this. And as you said, this is true. 100% is true. So the question is not the resistance of people or Hamas or Jihad, whoever. It was an old plan to invade Gaza and to use its sources for the benefit of the occupation.
Thank you, thank you. In a few minutes, I will have to ask for your permission because of the family program here, my grandchildren, regarding my grandchildren.
Sure.
Hanan, is there any possibility, Hanan or Fabio, anybody can answer, is there any possibility of the war ending soon?
Is there any possibility to send food, you mean?
No. Is there any possibility that the war in Gaza will end soon?
Well, we are trying to say it's the dream and the pressure of the nation and the pressure of some of the leaders of many states. They ask for that, like in Colombia, in Brazil, in Spain, and other areas. But they don't listen. They don't open the borders unless they want to open the border for one thing, to deport the Palestinians from Gaza, not to bring the food and the assistance. This is the real situation now. Maybe if the pressure of the Security Council, with their pressure, implement resolution, they can do. But I doubt if they can do. 2 years now, and they are meeting and meeting and meeting. They did not get a resolution to stop the war and stop the killing. So I am disappointed, but we all together, we will keep the hope alive. Maybe it will be changed, and the truth and the justice will come and flourish again.
Well, to answer this question, I must suggest to take again a look at the bigger picture. The worldwide situation is the best possible situation at the moment to achieve as much as possible of the great Israel dream, okay, for the Zionists. So no, this is not going to stop. When we talk about Gaza, let's remember that Palestine is also the West Bank. We talk about Gaza, we don't talk about what happened in the West Bank. What happened in the West Bank since more than 60 years is on daily basis. People are the settlers, that are other perfect terrorists, quite more than ISIS for sure. They go there and they shoot against people. And if the family, the relatives of the people react, the IDF, the army, is behind the settlers to intervene and arrest the people, or eventually keep shooting against the Palestinian and steal their land and steal their houses and their water, etc. This is going on for so long. There was something stopped. Now, when this started now, let's say virtually as a response to the 7th of October in Gaza, we still have the ex-president of the United States. They try. And the ex-president of the United States lets them do. Now with Trump, that is a personal friend of Netanyahu, of course they're going to continue because it's the best possible moment. All the world is in a moment of rebalance, and this is the best possible historical moment for the Zionists to try to achieve as much as possible. So as I said before, it's not only Gaza, it's the West Bank, and then it's not only the West Bank, then it's Syria, and then is Lebanon, etc., etc., etc. Who's stopping them? They're bombing states and places against any possible rules of the international law, and no one is stopping them. So why they should stop? So the thing is this: as much when the moment will arrive that this will stop, and I don't think it's going to happen soon, but when they're going, for sure they're not going to leave the land that they conquered, that they stolen basically. So at that point, this is why I'm saying that it's ridiculous to say what that criminal, the other criminal, the Stramer said. In September, we are going to recognize the state of Palestine. There is no state of Palestine. There is the way they think. Okay, so ideally, as I say in the beginning, there is just one possible solution to this that forget about Israel, create one state. This is the state of Palestine, okay, where everyone live there together and try to fix the situation among ethnicity and religion. Okay, so there. But this is not going to happen, and they're not going to stop until they don't have their great Israel. Because I don't know, I was very optimistic when I was young. Then probably for the work that I'm doing, I see how actually low the humans can be, and I'm not optimist anymore. And I think that people who are just living their life despite a genocide that is broadcasted online and television, people don't really care because they're scared.
Just last question from me.
Other things to think about, and so this cannot be stopped.
One last question, anybody can answer. We saw that on the current war was started on October 7th, 2023. It was Hamas who started the war, but after that, we did not see any retaliation from Hamas side.
No, this is not completely some members of Hamas, they are there on the ground fighting against Israelis, but we are talking about what? Guerrillas against a group of, it is a group of terrorists, but in the reality is armed by the US and is armed by us, by Italy and by Germany. So they are very heavily armed. Okay, so despite being covert terrorists, but they are very heavily armed. So the thing is, yeah, Hamas. But I don't agree so much on these things that Hamas started this. It is not Hamas that started this. Israel started this.
Well, I want to add, the resisting people, they are not terrorists. It's very important to know whether it is Hamas or Jihad or Fatah or Popular Front or the Palestinian parties. They are struggling for justice and for peace and for independent state of Palestine. And according to the international law, every occupied people have the right to fight and to struggle. This is one thing. The other thing, as we said before, Netanyahu was planning with the other countries for the Gazan, and 3 months, 6 months, he always say, I am going to invade. And you know, Al-Aruri, the leader of the resistance, he was assassinated in Lebanon. He said, we got the news that Netanyahu is going to invade Gaza. What can we do? This was his question, and he was assassinated the second day. So the question is not the parties, it's not the Palestinians. The question is the commercial plans that the occupation and his allies are planning to do. What they fight when the Palestinians fight, you know, they are a group, and you see that the state of Israel are fighting with all these arms and equipments, and how many people they were killed. And Netanyahu did not want to stop the war because he wanted to erase all the Palestinians in order to rebuild what's his dreams in Gaza and other areas. So it's really, we cannot blame resisting people. The people are resisting because they have oppression and suppression and occupation. How can you stand against occupation? It is open in the human rights and the United Nations that the people has to struggle and fight in all means in order to get independence. And it happened in many countries of the world who were occupied and imperialized. Thanks.
There is another, I'm going to revert it. Dr. Shaminas, is another point that people didn't talk too much about this. That is, eventually, if this would stop, and a peace is, but let's imagine this is possible. What is going to happen to the people of Israel? Because the people of Israel, not all of them, for religious reason, for reason of their own conviction, there are people who are against what is happening. For religious reason, there are people living in Israel that don't even acknowledge the fact that Israel should be there, and they're Jews. But let's forget about this. Let's think about the image of this murderer, the IDF, and the people in the street in Israel, and all the incidents that are happening with the tourists, Israeli tourists around the world. They're proud of the things that they're killing kids. They are proud of the things that they're killing women, children, and civilians. They're proud of it. So what are we going to do with this? Like, it's like they need a kind of re-education, because we talk so much about ISIS and when ISIS was ruling in some regions, they try to educate the children to hate and to use weapons, etc. But it's exactly the same that happened in Israel for many years. And this is the result. And I want to repeat, Israeli people are proud of killing children and women in Gaza. And the extremists, the settler, are there every single
They
day.
show their inhuman attitude, means hatred is stem in them. They are being taught hatred since childhood.
Exactly. But this is a problem on the long term. How do we want peace if Israeli people are proud of what they're doing? Of course, I'm not saying everyone, but according to what we see, okay, the military on the ground, they're happy to kill the children. The people in
But we
Israel.
have also seen that many youngsters are not willing to join army, Israeli army, and some of them are also protesting against in Israel against the killing. And there are people who are committing suicide after they have killed uh, people in Gaza. So there are
The less
some
that
hope
they,
also, some
is the
optimism
less that they
also.
can do, to be honest. Is the less that they can do to commit suicide after what they did. But the thing is that yes, exists a minority, absolutely. But here is a matter of education. They're educated to hate since they're children. This is a problem. This is a huge problem, also in the long term. The hate against Arabs and Muslims in particular, and to this crazy idea that God promised them a land where they have to stay and they're better. Only the idea of the chosen people, this is scary. This is the Nazis revisited.
Exactly. Any other GPLT member wants to ask any question from Hanan Awad and Fabio? You're most welcome.
I just want to
Anybody?
add one point which is very important. Like the resistance in Gaza, they did not kill any innocent people. As you view in the 2 years, only soldiers. But the occupation killed all the civilians in different sector and different position. And this is very important to understand because what Netanyahu created stories that they were in raid and invade and so it's not true because according to the investigation of the Israeli government and court, they know the truth, but they cannot declare it in public for everyone. This is the reality and this is the truth.
Magishu,
Any
sorry, I'm just looking if Magishu's here. Magishu, Dr. Magishu, Dr. Magishu. Okay, don't worry. I thought he was
we are only few people left. So anybody, any GPLT member wants to ask any question from Hanan Awad or Fabio, you are most welcome. Or we can end.
Thank you for sharing the experiences that you've witnessed. It's humbling to be here. I have a question. I just want to get clarity. Did I understand it correctly that, for one, what I heard was what happened, the invasion was for profit, as the bottom line, why that happened. But also, October 7th was an act of pure evil. But what I'm hearing is that a lot of what has been shared to the world sounds like it was manufactured to justify the invasion, and that what we've been told is not correct, that it's a lie. Is that correct? Women and children were not killed, murdered, slaughtered? Did I understand
On
that?
October 7th. On October 7th.
No, dear,
You're,
no.
you're saying
Tina.
that, yeah, I'm trying to understand because
Hanan, I think she means that what was exactly done by Hamas on October 7, because there has been lots of propaganda also from the Israeli side.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. It was a big lie, and it was created propaganda to give excuse for Netanyahu and his soldiers to invade Gaza. So, and it was written in many important newspapers, to Guardian and to Israeli newspaper. And after the investigation, they know that Netanyahu, even he bombed the people who were in the party, and he said that Hamas did. And this is real information that exists in the in Netanyahu government. So it's a reason why they want to create reason how to invade Gaza and to destruct Gaza. So they create all these. You know, according to, I must tell you, I am not defending, any act like the of attacking women or children. You know that, but I must tell you, in our religion and in Hamas and Jihad religion, the children and the women is sacred. Nobody can touch. According to the rules, even in the war, keep on the women, the children, the old people, never touch. So I doubt that the resistant people did that. It's a lie. It's a big lie.
Hanan, Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi is a fine example of it. When he conquered Jerusalem, he did not
Yeah,
kill anybody. He allowed all the women and children to go peacefully.
that's
So
true. Yeah, that's true.
there are lots of example of such kings who have not killed even when they have won war also. And I think there is an Umar Pact also in according to Palestine that which Khalifa Umar has done, means that every means Muslim in Palestine will help and support or will protect Christians or any
Exactly. Yes.
Jews or any community living in
Yes.
Palestine.
Yes, you're right. I agree.
Hmm.
Tina, if I
So-
can
You
help.
know, in Palestine, we don't have races at all. Yani religion is respected, whatever it is. Yani Christian and Muslim are brothers in the same goal. Even the Jews we have in Nablus, a group of Jews,
Brahminic family.
they are living
Hanan,
under the role of Palestine. And you know, but we never have anything against Jews, because even in the Holy Quran we respect them. But the problem not a Jew.
Hanan,
Yeah.
Hanan, there are some religious places like the shrine of Prophet Abraham and Prophet Daud, which Jewish call David, where even Muslim and Jewish they both go, even Christian also.
I didn't got the point, but I want to assure you, which is very important to know. In Palestine, there is no racist at all, no religious differences. We respect the Jewish people, and we have party in Palestine, in under the government of Palestine in Nablus. They are living, and Naturi Karta, these people are supporting Palestine. Even the individual Jews, all the whole Jews who are not Zionist Christian are respected in Palestine. But the problem is not the Jew, the problem is the Zionist movement and the Zionist Christian in the US. They are trying to occupy Palestine and deport the people out of Palestine.
We can end, or is there any question from Tina Jones or Goha sir? Would you like to ask any question?
Well, it's what you shared was quite shocking. So, my question is
If I can, Tina, sorry, because I would like to add something to what Anan said very well about 7th of October. There were civilians killed by Hamas. Now the problem is who was Hamas acting there? Like it's also a very complicated situation. Now, for sure, and this is and this was investigated, including by people in Israel, like Ares, the journalists. They start to talk about this, like, okay, but where are the kids, the children killed? There is no hospital that there is any registry of children behaved or things like this. There is no registry of this. There is no registry of women rape. I mean, so this started from Israel, from some journalists in Israel. After, like, immediate, one of the first things that happened, exactly because of this, and until now, journalists are not allowed to enter in Gaza. Israeli people, they don't want the world to see. There are no observers in Gaza for a simple reason, because they don't want us to see what is going on. The problem is that we are not in the pre-digital era anymore. Like today, we have many other ways to discover what is going on, and we actually do. Okay, so no, there were not children. It's what Anan was talking about. Also, this is very true. There is a military protocol in Israel. That is, if there are people, hostages of terrorists, they have to be killed, because we are not going to negotiate with them. So the investigations that happen demonstrate that a big part of the civilians killed were killed by weapons that Hamas didn't have. So they were killed by the Israelis themselves, you know? So yeah, this is what happened that day.
So any more questions, or we can end?
Well, I would like to know what can we all do to bring about peace? I don't know that, well, I have to process what you shared about October the 7th, in that that's a lot, because they're basically everything that I've read and heard was manufactured by the Israeli government. So it makes me question, it makes me question what is Hamas? I mean, if it's not a terrorist organization, do the people of Gaza, do they fear Hamas? I've been told that people have been threatened, killed.
Dr. Jimenez, you don't have the microphone on, huh?
Well,
I'm saying, Tina, your question is very comprehensive. Just confine it. Confine your question.
Okay, so my thought is there is no legitimate government for the Palestinian people. So how do you restore a legitimate government? And what is Hamas if it is not a terrorist organization, or that's what it's been classified as to the world? Because without a legitimate government, there needs to be another entity that can represent the will of the people. The people have no rights. They have no way of life. So in terms of rebuilding,
okay, let them
No,
answer. Tina, let them
I
answer.
completely understand. Yes, I completely understand the question. Look, quite shortly, let's define what terrorist is. We, the West, decide who is the terrorist. Nelson Mandela was classified as a terrorist. Okay, so first of all, this is a use that we do of the word terrorist to feed our own propaganda in the West. Okay, so we decide who is a terrorist, who is not. So we decide tomorrow we can bomb Afghanistan, Iraq, according to. So all the population knows that they're terrorists because we decide they're terrorists. Who is Hamas? Hamas, of course, there are people with Hamas and against Hamas in Gaza. The problem is that the government of Israel feed Hamas until 7th of October, or more or less until 7th of October. Why? Because because Hamas is against the government of the West Bank. So the Israelis, they bring money through Qatar to Hamas in order to feed them and keep divided the Palestinian, or at least those who used to rule on Palestinian. Okay, so forget about it. In reality, it doesn't even exist in the literature of international relations, the word terrorist. Okay, so this is just propaganda. The real thing is the Israelis, they don't have to be there. The Israelis, they don't have to be there. That's it. Doesn't mean if it's Hamas, it's not Hamas. This is something that then Palestinian eventually would solve. Okay?
Okay.
The problem is the continuous crime for 60 years that Israelis are committing, not Hamas. Israelis started doing a lot before Hamas. So this is the problem.
Fabio, I'm sorry to cut you off, but there's another Zoom starting.
Go ahead.
It's okay.
Hello? There's another Zoom starting, so I have to stop this one. Because
Thank
otherwise the other one is waiting to sign up. Thank you to everybody. It just really, this is awesome. We will share the recording with everybody. Dr. Shamanaz, you can end off. Dr. Shamanaz, you can close off.
Thank you, everyone. Sorry to interrupt, Tina, because we have another event in line. So thank you, Hanan Awad, for requesting our invitation again. And thank you, Fabio. You are already a GPLT member. And Hanan, we would like you also to join GPLT, because we are, Dr. Nikki and her team is working a lot for the restoration of peace in Gaza also. We as GPLT are helping people of Gaza also. So thank you, all my GPLT team members. Now most of them have gone. Thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.